It's a pleasure to welcome you to yet another edition of NAFDAC and Your Health, where NAFDAC, the agency that is charged with the responsibility of safeguarding the health of Nigerians, intimates you on the various ways in which it ensures that you remain healthy. My name is Amanda Ugo.
This edition of NAFDAC and Your Health is centered basically on NAFDAC's investigation and enforcement activities. It will look at how the agency strives to rid the society of fake and unwholesome regulated products and the efforts made to bring violators to book. And then the second segment will focus on the various raids NAFDAC carried out in recent past. This would dovetail into the destruction exercises done towards ensuring that the confiscated products do not get back onto the society. NAFDAC's responsibility of safeguarding the health of Nigerians may not have required stern regulatory strategies and stiff methods of enforcing adherence to stipulated guidelines as provided for in the Nigerian Constitution, if not for defiant manufacturers, exporters, marketers, and distributors who, in spite of all entreaties by NAFDAC, have continued to violate the regulatory laws. The activities of these recalcitrant producers and dealers of products that pose risk to the health of the Nigerian public makes NAFDAC, through her investigation and enforcement directorate, to always be at alert to trail, discover, nab, and subsequently prosecute them if and when found guilty.
Our investigation and enforcement office does a lot. And it's not just investigation and enforcement. We have the inspectorate. Whether it is drug, whether it is food, whether it is veterinary medicine, whether it's narcotics, we have inspectorate. They start with the enforcement. For example, the good manufacturing practice type of inspector goes to a company. If that company has flagrantly violated, they can shut down the company. That is the beginning of inspection. If there is resistance, they call investigation and enforcement. We have about 80 policemen that work with us on a daily basis because we have the law behind us, C-34 bill, that says we can arrest anybody that is trying to violate our regulations. That is just the inspectorate. The post-marketing surveillance inspectorate also has the power to shut down.
Arrested violators are usually prosecuted and sanctioned, but according to the NAFDAC DG, more has to be done in this regard to make intending violators desist from the unlawful practices.
The outcomes of sanctions, when it goes to the court, we can do better as a country. You cannot give somebody that falsified medicine that can kill another person 3 years or pay 200,000 naira. We are now, our C-34 law is in the House now, in the National Assembly. We are trying to change it. We are trying to make the fines much stiffer. Because if there is no deterrent, people will repeat it, will repeat the offense. So we can do better, but that's where we have found ourselves as a country, unfortunately, but the legislators are working on it.
One of the several prosecutions that stemmed out of the investigation and enforcement activities of NAFDAC that had suspects arrested for offenses that contravene NAFDAC's regulations was heard in court recently. This was the case of 2 suspects arrested for dealing in fake body sprays. The manufacturers of Briggs brand body sprays had approached NAFDAC to lodge a complaint that their products were being counterfeited and sold in large into the Nigerian market. NAFDAC men from the investigation and enforcement unit promptly swung into action in the usual manner, and their efforts yielded positive results on the 18th of January when they arrested 2 suspects in connection with the reported crime. The suspects, Friday Emmanuel Chieze and Nnam Ifeanyi Kingsley, were on the said date arrested at Brono Plaza, D007, Balogun Business Association, Trade Fair Complex, Lagos, where they plied their illicit trade. They were taken into custody while full investigation into the case began. These suspects were recently arraigned by NAFDAC before the Federal High Court in Lagos for dealing, storing, and selling unregistered body spray named Riggs. At the arraignment, the prosecutor, Ngozi Ima Afoike, told the court that the two defendants committed the offenses on January 18, 2024. According to the prosecutor, all the illegal acts of the defendants contravened Sections 1, Subsection 1 and 1 Subsection 4 AII of the Food, Drugs and Related Products Registration (ETC) Act Cap F33 LFN 2004 and punishable under Section 6 and 17 Subsection 1 of the same Act. The two defendants, however, pleaded not guilty to the allegations.
The Investigation and Enforcement Directorate of NAFDAC continues to carry out raids through her state and zonal offices. Some of the recent raids include that of Agaba Table and Sachet Water, Obudu Town, Cross River State. The water factory had relocated from its registered location to another location not approved by NAFDAC and was producing under a different name other than the one approved by NAFDAC. In addition, the factory was producing under bad manufacturing practice. In the same vein, in Ogbomosho, Oyo State, a team led by the Southwest Zonal Director, Mrs. Roseline Ajayi, uncovered an unregistered bakery producing under the abysmally poor GMP. Also in the town, the team discovered an unregistered water packaging factory operating with an expired license. The company also engaged in contract manufacture for other unregistered products. In Okeari, Lagos Island, an illegal alcohol manufacturing company was also recently uncovered. There, various brands of alcoholic drinks and beverages were being manufactured and sold to the open market. Rooms converted to factories were discovered, improvised production items and flyers, as well as several cartons of various brands of drinks, corks, and labels, and already produced and packaged drinks worth over 2 billion naira were discovered and evacuated. 3 suspects were arrested in connection with the illegal production. As these raids continue, confiscated products gathered are destroyed during destruction exercises carried out at intervals. Barely a month ago, in Enugu State, southeast Nigeria, fake and adulterated products worth over 2 billion naira were destroyed. The products, including rice and assorted drinks, were confiscated by NAFDAC from dealers in the 5 southeast states. During the destruction exercise, which took place at the Enugu State Waste Management Authority dump site, Director General of NAFDAC, Professor Mojisola Adeyeye, who was represented by the Southeast Zonal Director of NAFDAC, Mr. Iluyomade Martins, stated that the total value of the products being destroyed was worth over 2,664,548,683 naira 33 kobo in street value. Another of such destruction exercise again recently took place at dilapidated dump site in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital. The NAFDAC Director General, Professor Mojisola Adeyeye, speaking through the Director, Investigation and Enforcement, Mr. Shaba Mohammed, who represented her at the event, explained the categories of products being destroyed and how they were gathered.
The products being destroyed in this exercise are made up of substandard, falsified medical products, unwanted processed food products, food additives, medical unsafe cosmetics, counterfeit and expired NAFDAC regulated products seized by the agency from manufacturers, importers, and disposal. Also for destruction are damaged and expired products which were voluntarily handed over to NAFDAC by compliant companies, non-governmental organizations, and those mocked up by trade unions in drug selling locations across the country to the agency. The estimated street value of the product being destroyed today is 43 billion naira. This is a huge waste on our common wealth. If this product being destroyed today, we are actually genuine products. They never had issues. I think we wouldn't be witnessing this destruction exercise. For a country to have products to the tune of 43 billion in just one location being destroyed, cause for concern. The agency also carry out several hawkers raid exercises. And during this hawkers raid, we seize product which shouldn't be in circulations. The products being hawked by hawkers, of course, are not medically fit for consumption because they've been exposed to elements, of the sun and environment. And then the act that established counterfeit and fake drugs also states that such products should not be sold in marketplaces, in moving vehicles, in kiosks, and shouldn't be hawked. And that was why we moved all those things from circulations. And part of this destruction exercise are products that we mopped up from hawkers rates and to the tune of 48 million naira. That is quite huge. Then apart from that too, through intelligent gathering, we raided warehouses, cell distribution outlets, and we're also able to get some products that shouldn't be in the hands of some unscrupulous elements. Those are Schedule 1 narcotics. They also form part of what we are going to, destroy in this exercise. And they are worth about 700 million naira. Some other products for destruction today are products that were mopped up from circulation during our investigation and enforcement, raids. They include illicit and registered pharmaceutical products, such as codeine. Even though it's been banned, people still take pleasure in trading in them. And each time any of them is caught, either by NAFDAC or even NDLA, I think they know, the consequences of that. So the products generally, we have expired tramadol, we have aphrodisiacs, anti-malarials, and many other registered drugs. Others are contraband drugs that actually have been banned from being imported into the country. You have tomato paste, unregistered and counterfeit drinks, food products, perfumes, body sprays, and agrochemicals.
The NAFDAC DG also reiterated the agency's commitment to rid the society of the spurious product, enumerating strategies employed by the agency to curb the activities of the peddlers of such products, part of which is the establishment of 4 national coordinated wholesale centers across the country. She added that the coordinating Minister of Health, Professor Muhammad Ali Pate, is set to inaugurate the federal and state task forces on counterfeit and fake drugs and unwholesome processed foods at a date to be announced soon. Pharmacist Shaba Mohammed, speaking in his capacity as the Director, Investigation and Enforcement, spoke about the assiduous work done by the Directorate to uncover the illicit activities that led to the existence of the products being destroyed. Also in attendance at the destruction exercise were the representative of the Southwest Zonal Director of NAFDAC, Mrs. Rosaline Ajayi, the representative of the Oyo State Commissioner of Environment and Natural Resources, as well as stakeholders like NDLEA, the Anti-Narcotics Unit of the Nigerian Police, and the Federal Inland Revenue Service.
The program continues after the short break. Please stay with us.
As part of NAFDAC concerted effort to prevent incessant food poisoning and to safeguard the health of the nation, the agency wishes to advise the general public to take the following precautionary measures in food handling. Chemicals are not food, so do not taste with your tongue. It is dangerous to health and it can kill. It is dangerous to cook your meat with paracetamol or any drug. It can damage your liver, kidneys, or other organs. Do not ripen your fruits with calcium carbide. It can cause cancer or damage the kidneys or liver. It is dangerous to use sniper to keep insects and other flies away from any food products. Cooking does not remove sniper. Do not consume any mixture or herbal preparation that do not have NAFDAC number. It could be deadly. Too much monosodium glutamate food seasoning that comes as cube or in sachet can be dangerous to your health. Do not add any chemical to food or drink to make it sour or improve taste. Safe food. Everyone's business. NAFDAC. Safeguarding the health of the nation.
Welcome back. You are still watching NAFDAC and Your Health.
And now, moving on to NAFDAC news updates. Following the unfortunate flood incidents that ravaged Maiduguri and its environs, which submerged markets, including the Gomboro drug market, and the washing and sun-drying of affected food items and drugs by sellers, for the purpose of selling to the public, the NAFDAC DG has directed immediate closure of the markets for a proper shop-to-shop mopping of the drugs and food items. The NAFDAC DG said these products pose serious health risks as they definitely would have been contaminated by harmful bacteria and harmful substances, and washing and sun-drying and spraying them with pesticides will not remove the contaminants in them, and the use or consumption of the products can lead to life-threatening infections, adverse reactions, reduce efficacy and heighten risks of disease transmission. The Director, Northeast Zone of NAFDAC, Mr. Kenneth Azikwe, expressed the agency's sympathy on the flood disaster in Maiduguri and its environs, adding that the evacuation exercise involves officials from Borno, Yobe and Gombe State.
Products have been exposed and submerged in water. It's no longer of good quality. The integrity has been compromised, and such products should not be consumed by the public. Instead of buying them, submit them to the authority so that we will destroy them.
As NAFDAC continues to collaborate with the Ministry of Health and other relevant agencies to ensure the safety of drugs and other consumables in the state, the agency's swift response after the flood has brought hope to the communities affected by the flood incidents in Borno State. That was NAFDAC Update. You have been updated.
Thank you for watching today's episode of NAFDAC and Your Health. We shall be back again, same time, same station next week for another insightful package. If you have any information on the activities of peddlers of fake, expired or substandard food products, drugs, cosmetics or medical equipment, please do not hesitate to reach out to NAFDAC.
You can reach NAFDAC via toll-free numbers. For inquiries, call 0700 162 3322. For complaints, call 0800 162 3322. You may also email NAFDAC at nafdac.gov.ng. If you have complaints about any form of misconduct, you can reach the Reforms Unit via email reforms@nafdac.gov.ng or call the Reforms hotlines on 0909 763 0506 or 0909 763 0507. NAFDAC, customer focused, agency minded.
Do not forget that it is criminal to produce, import, market, distribute, advertise or sell unwholesome food products, fake or substandard drugs, chemical and medical equipment. Do not engage in these unlawful acts that endanger the lives of the Nigerian people. Make it a date with us on our next episode. Until then, goodbye.